Okay.
Let's do this.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while again. When was the last time we recorded a podcast? Do you remember?
Was it February? Late February, early March?
Yeah, I think it was. To be fair, it hasn't been that long compared to last year, how we would record an episode every
6 months or something.
basically. What is going on? Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah. I don't know why your microphone is so loud.
Hello. Maybe I have to sit back a bit.
Yeah, you go too close maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been around maybe 2 months? Around 2 months,
yeah,
a month and something.
Yeah, let's say that.
Yeah, which is not too bad, and mainly we've been wanting to do it, and we have ideas, but it's just we've been so busy, especially around Easter and before Easter, because we had so many plans with our friends.
Honestly.
Because for Easter, we had like a group of our friends visiting. Even one of our friends brought a friend, because she lives in Spain, and brought one of her Spanish friends here. But then we had another friend of ours. I also, one of the weekends, I went to visit Prain, who's like one of...
Yeah, one of
she's...
friend. Well, we knew from...
she's my friend, but like you know her. But anyway, I went by myself to just spend time with her.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leona.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and just like a lot of plans, and it's been really fun. Obviously, busy with work, busy with life. We've been trying, both of us, to get more serious about working out, because I have to lose some weight, man.
Yes, definitely. Especially if we want to be summer ready, as people say. But just in general, to like get into better habits, better routines. Yeah. Cooking more, obviously less takeouts, and just being better with our overall health, I guess. Yeah, which is always a bonus.
I realistically don't think I'll have a summer body, at least for this summer. Maybe next year, I don't know.
Summer body never again.
It's just crazy how, I don't know, I personally know that I'm like very old, and I don't want to sound like that, because when I say things like that, my father's always like, oh yeah, as if you're very old. I'm not saying I'm very old, but there is difference from when I was 18 to now when I'm 25, almost 26. Doesn't matter. But there is difference in how your body works, and I can see that it's much more difficult to lose weight, even if because before I would stop eating for a few days, not stop eating, but like eat less and just in general start eating more healthy, and I'll see difference quickly, whereas now it's taking ages.
Yeah, it's the long game, like honestly, and with our types of jobs as well, and how we're constantly sitting all the main
thing. No movement, really.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of like
not enough movement to actually lose weight.
Yeah, exactly that. But we'll get there. Summer bodies next year. This year, just hoping to have less weight than what I did a few months ago. Yeah, that's the goal.
And just to make it a lifestyle, I want to be one of those people that on Saturday wakes up and goes to the gym first thing, and then runs errands around town.
Business lady.
Yeah. But how have you been?
I've been pretty good. I mean, like I said, like we're trying to get into a better routine and everything. I mean, I've been probably the most consistent with my workouts than I have been in years.
Better than me, and cooking as well.
Yeah, I make it like a habit every weekend to get my ingredients, just bulk cook, because I don't want to have to be cooking and cleaning during the week. Like I already have to do enough, so... Yeah, no, that's been going well, and just I kind of miss when I don't do workouts. I feel like I'm just like, oh, what do I do with my day? It helps me like get through the day, like with work and stuff. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, just kind of like, obviously, as you mentioned, had plans with friends, and just kind of like getting on with other hobbies as well as this. And yeah, the sun is finally coming out. Like we've got longer hours in the day now.
That's definitely helping with how it feels like we have, at least for me, it feels like I have more time, so that makes me more active and being able to come back home from work and just work out or do something else, even go for a walk, whatever. Whereas before I would come home and it's already dark and I feel like I need to sleep.
Yeah.
So
And just
yeah.
like slouching and everything. And no, it's good. It's always like this every year. It's just getting through to spring and actually having the weather help us out is always a bonus. So can't complain.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
complain.
yeah.
But I mean, today our topic it's
Oh, sorry, I was
quite
gonna talk a bit about myself now. I thought
Okay, sorry.
I thought you asked me because I asked her
Sorry.
how she's doing. So I was like, she's gonna ask, but I guess she's
Whoops.
not.
Whoopsie.
So today, oh, it's so weird because we have like, I can see the neighbors outside and they definitely can see us. But
Yeah.
anyway, I just wanted to say that lately I've been feeling a bit off. And I think it's because, I don't know, obviously it's been busy. And even though I've had a good time with my friends and all of the plans, why are all of the neighbors going out in front of our window right now?
Honestly.
I've never seen them do that before. But anyway, yeah, obviously loads of plans, loads of fun, but that makes you tired. So I think because of that, maybe I've been feeling a bit down, and also there've been a lot of astrological things happening which I believe affect us, and I've noticed that they really affect me. Also the weather affects me a lot, and it's been, some days it's sunny and then I feel alive and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and that, but other days it's so gloomy and it rains. Like lately it's been raining so much, and that also affects me. So yeah, I mean, sorry, just 2 seconds. So yeah, I've been struggling a bit and I've been feeling a bit like can't be asked with anything. But it's weird because some days I feel like that, other days I'm fine.
Yeah.
And it's just so annoying because I make a plan. I try to make a plan for the whole week so I know what I'm doing, because there's more chance for me to do certain things if I plan them instead of every evening coming home and wondering what am I gonna do.
Yeah.
Just because then I'm overwhelmed. Whereas if I come home and I know, okay, I'm gonna do this, yeah, there's just more chance, more probability that I'll do it. But the thing is, one day when you're feeling so motivated one day and next day you're not, it's just so annoying, because I just start working out, for 2-3 days I'm feeling good, I'm working out, I'm doing this and that, but then for the next 2 days I feel like can't be asked with anything, I'm so tired. And I'm trying to relax as well, to sleep enough, not to push myself too much, because I know I have a tendency. So yeah, it's just been a bit of a struggle, but
Like a balancing act, along with all of the weather changes, like you mentioned, and all of the retrogrades and eclipses and whatnot going on. It's not easy. It is
Yeah.
definitely not easy. But the fact that you try is what matters.
And I'm annoyed that I can't, because, some people who are very disciplined, they can push through it. But the thing is, even if I try to push through it, I just can't. Like when I'm not feeling okay or I'm not feeling well, I'm just not. And even if I push myself, yeah, sometimes I start feeling better, but other times it just doesn't work like that. I just need to take a break. But I was gonna say, when you didn't ask me, so today we had an interesting training at work. It was all about how people communicate and also having, difficult conversations, stuff like that. But there, we did some exercises, which is, I think it's called behavioral,
Yeah.
or personality profiling. And basically there are 4 categories: yellow, green, red, and blue. And we did different exercises, so it shows you, we all of us have all those 4 categories, but obviously some of them are stronger depending on what person you are.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, because in one of the categories, the blue one, the type of person, they're very like straight to the point, they want facts, they don't ask too many questions, they're not too friendly. So that reminded me because you're like that. You're like, okay, she asked me, I responded. Okay, let's go, let's continue. Yeah.
That's actually quite accurate. But the thing is, to be fair, I was gonna do the intro and be like, oh, I like the title, but I know there was something that you wanted to mention about the like psychology.
Oh,
That's how I was gonna tie it in. But also, like, it's very
to be honest, I
to
was
the
planning
point.
to talk about this a bit like a bit later. But I guess once we get into the topic, probably we'll just won't stop. So maybe I can talk about it a little bit. Let me just remind myself, I have a little handout. But yeah, so there are 4 categories. I just thought it's very interesting because I personally never heard about this before, about these 4 colors, and that, you know, we people have all of them and there are certain qualities, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's when I was listening throughout the whole day, because we learn more and more about each category, it makes so much sense. I mean, I was looking more at it from a work perspective, but even like, I was thinking the people I communicate with were at work, how some of them I can see, oh yeah, they're definitely like blue or they're definitely green on this and that. And even for myself, it was so accurate because I was mainly in yellow and green. And if anything, kind of on the same level, but a bit more yellow. And it's so true. However, I think at work, I'm a bit more green than yellow, and in my personal life, I think I'm a bit more yellow than green, but I'm definitely both of them.
Yeah.
So I'll just read quickly. The yellow one are people that love networking, fast-paced environments. They love change. They're outgoing, fun, thrive in a vibrant work environment, or just in general in a vibrant work environment. They have loads of ideas. They love doing many tasks at once. They're really good at creating things in their head. They're good at selling the vision, which I know I am.
Yes, that's so true.
Keep the energy high. They love taking risks. And when it comes to making decisions, they prefer to make decisions with their gut feeling than being more calculating and taking time to think. So yeah, gut instinct when taking decisions. They're also quick to take them. They don't like to, and that's so true. I just want to take a decision.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, I need to think. Because sometimes you have to, like, you can't rush all of your decisions, but it's just so annoying when I have to, like, take a minute and think. They struggle to finish tasks. Yeah, so yeah. And then the green one is, and it's interesting because each of those categories, they correspond to a hormone. So the yellow one that I just read is the dopamine. And then the green one is estrogen. So they love routine, they love harmony, they're not judgmental, they're considerate, not as expressive as yellow, but still expressive, easygoing, supportive and loyal, dislike conflict, and they dislike change. When taking decisions, they would ask about everyone's opinion. So yeah, quite considerate. Then you have the blue one, which is the serotonin. So they're task-oriented. They love to research. They love everything to be in order. They're quite reflective. So, you know, they take more time to take decisions, or, you know, if you ask them questions, they would prefer to take some time to research, have all of the facts before they present their answers. They have amazing attention to detail. They love lists and finishing tasks. They like peace and quiet, and can be exhausted from socializing.
God, that is actually me.
And they're slower to take decisions.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
No, that really does sound like me, especially with like the lists as well. Because at work, like I need to have every single step like put out because I can't. I'm jumping around between so many things. I need to see like what's going on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe there are some exercises and you can do them later, so we can.
Might have to give the results on the next episode to see how it goes.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the red one, which is which correlates with testosterone. So they have ability to thrive and survive in challenging environments. They meet challenges head on. They're independent thinkers when taking decisions. They're independent workers. They prefer, to just do it on their own. They're focused on results and deadlines. They're bold and direct, and they're confident in their approach. So, very interesting. And it's just, once you know all of those things, it's so interesting because you can, especially with people that you know and that you're close with, you really can see what colors are more prominent in their personality.
That's really intriguing.
And it can help you. We were doing this because in my job, on daily basis, we have conversations with people. Sometimes they're pleasant, sometimes they're not. You have all sorts of people, and you need to be able to deal with all sorts of people, and situations. So we were we were doing those exercises and talking about those things, because if you know what someone, if you're talking to someone and you're able to tell kind of in what category they are from those four, it can help you to approach situations, especially when it comes to someone being angry, upset, unsure, seeking help, but they're not sure what's going on. Situations like that, it can really help you figure out how to communicate with them and kind of help them in the best way you can. When you understand the way they think, the way they like to act, the things that they like or not, it will help you also understand them better. Because, someone, for example, I'm yellow and green. And if it's someone, let's say blue, I might think, oh, they're a bit cold, or they're a bit unfriendly. Or someone that's red, I might be like, oh no, like, who does this person think they are? They think they know, everything, and they know the best. But if I know those things, I can be like, oh wait, but that is how they express themselves. This is how their brain works. So it will, it helps you also not take things too personally, and just be, respectful of how other people communicate, and hope that they will be respectful to you as well. So it was a very interesting training that we had. I genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I wish I had that kind of thing at work, to be honest, because I doubt we'd ever have such type of thing. But with the kind of people that we deal with as well, like with the IT stuff, like to communicate in a way to explain to them, like, everything's going to be fine, but you have to do this, that, the other. It's like, it's very tailored.
To be fair, probably it will be good for you as well. And it's like, this one, I feel like it was a bit more tailored to, obviously, to what we do with like my team. But if they give your team a training like that, they can tailor it more to the, to how, I don't know, your IET help desk works, or you know what I mean. They can make it a bit more. Because you probably don't have difficult conversations, for example, because you don't have to sit with someone and be like, oh, don't worry, this and that, you need to do this and that.
Yeah, not to that extent.
Yeah, no.
Definitely not. But no, who knows? There might be.
Okay, so the camera stopped recording for a second, but that's fine because we were almost at the end. But basically, what I was telling Leona was like, her team can do that training as well, and it can be tailored more to them. And I said to her, she can suggest it to her managers. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, okay. Well, should we then start with the topic? Feel free to.
Yes. As I was saying before, our topic today is crisis in connection, addressing the decline of communication. I think that's quite a heavy, but like very true and not discussed enough topic, ironically. So to some I don't know, for some audiences,
I think it's there is a lot of discussion about social media and how it's affecting us, but it's so focused on just social media. But I don't think it's only social media. Obviously, that's a big thing. But just in general, obviously, the times change. So a lot can change. But yeah, definitely, I'm concerned about communication between people and just relationships between people and how it's affecting our life. And I'm just scared, what is it going to be even in like 20 years? Let's not even think about further than that.
It's just like, I think like social media has, yeah, it's just kind of rotted our brains with not only like how much overload we get into our brains, but also the expectations of how people talk. Like your majority of the time seeing people like leaving comments and stuff on posts like non-stop.
Emojis,
Yeah, constantly emojis, abbreviations, gifs.
and all of those things, they, because if you mainly communicate using social media devices, blah blah blah, and you express yourself through text, emojis, gifs, abbreviations, blah blah.
Yeah.
Because even think about yourself. You're sending a funny text or someone is sending you. Do you sit, like, obviously there are moments where you'll be like, ha ha ha. But otherwise, I often send something that's funny or someone sends me and I'm like, this. But I'm sending laughing gifs and stuff. But I'm like, in reality, like, not because I'm not finding it funny, but it's just because you're already expressing over message. I don't feel the need to be like, ha ha ha, unless it's something that really
really takes you off guard, because like it's not like the person's gonna see that expression anyway in real
and
life.
we are very expressive people, but think about other people that are not as expressive. For them, probably there's no indication in real life. And that makes you forget how to express and also read social cues from other people when you're in real life, because obviously you're not using that skill. So yeah, people just rely on those emojis and gifs, then and it's just crazy.
Yeah, it becomes more robotic in quote unquote nature.
Yeah,
because like people are so used to, especially as like the current generation and like growing up even more with technology than what we did. Obviously, like we grew up with it as it was starting to like properly develop, but now like teenagers nowadays, they've got all this like technology and know all of the different hacks and tips and tricks, whatever, like about social media, and that's like how they've grown up in their childhood. A lot of the time they're not even like going out and playing games on the street anymore, like in the playground or whatever. They're socializing over video call. Like 10-year-olds doing video calls.
I mean, I guess that's a bit better than text and stuff, because because that's the thing, when you are communicating, even video call is still not real life. You just, and probably a lot of those people, they don't know how to read cues. They don't know how, when you're face to face with someone, can tell how that person is feeling, what the body language says, what the face, like the facial gestures say. That's why there's so, like, there's lack of nuance and lack of depth. That's why nowadays we all struggle with what's the word, shallow relationships, any kind of relationship. And I mean, even if we're struggling that we didn't grow up with those things, and we've started using them, and now there's such a big part of our life that we are forgetting those skills that we had from before. Think about what it is for children that are, all they know is social media and communicating over social media. There's no way.
It's actually quite sad.
That's why so many people I mean, our generations as well, but younger, like, they can't do public speaking. They can't sit and look in your eyes, like hold eye contact. They can't use their arms, hands properly, face. They sit there and they're like this, and just can't communicate, because you have some great people with you have some people with like a lot of knowledge on topics. They're great, artistic, technical, whatever, but they can't communicate, and that makes them very useless, especially in the workplace and just in the world. Because you have all of those skills, but you can't express it, you can't show people. And actually, even when I was at uni, because I was studying an IT course, and even our lecturers were saying to us, employers give us feedback, not only our university, but in general, about technology students, that they struggle, like they have great skills, but struggle so much with social skills, and that's a big problem. So even then they were telling us, like, look, you need to work on those social skills.
Yeah, because otherwise, where are you going to go? How are you going to get anywhere?
You can't.
No.
Because even, I mean, obviously here it depends on what area, what field we're talking about. But even if you don't have the greatest skills in a certain field, if you're a good communicator, there is actually probably more chance for you to succeed than someone that has the skills but can't communicate.
Yeah. And like, yeah, especially with the types of jobs that people are going for nowadays, and just how industries are changing. Yeah, of course, there's like a lot more technology jobs, and sometimes you just need to get the stuff done. But at the end of the day, like a phone call is still, like, say, for example, a lot better than an email to convey a message. Like, if you're trying to make connections or make deals or do pitches, this sort of thing, you're like, yeah, there's a lot more technology involved nowadays, but you still need the core elements of how to talk to people and to get your point across.
No, of course,
because that's what everything it comes down to.
Yeah, we can't escape technology, but also we need to still be able to communicate.
Yeah.
Because again, you're losing the nuance, the depth when it's just, how you said, if it's an email. Oftentimes you might think someone is rude if, let's say, their email is shorter or not fluffy, but it doesn't mean they're rude. Some people just, that's how they communicate over email, text, whereas others can be, very friendly. And it's crazy. It's just, I personally, especially if it's something more complicated, I always prefer, let's say, at work, to call and talk instead of trying to explain over email and thinking, oh, how do I explain this or that? Or you see sometimes a manager sends a very, and a staff member sends a very angry sounding email, but when you actually call them and talk to them, you can see that they are, they're frustrated, but they're still nice and they want to resolve it and talk to you, and they understand, there's a human being. When communication is done over text, or email, sometimes you forget that there's another human being on the other side.
Yeah, it really is stripping away humanity of, like, just a normal conversation. And like, with how busy everyone is nowadays, some people like think email is better, but it's still not. And even just like with the pressures of how much needs to get done can also like take away from how people communicate, because obviously they're not thinking clearly. Like, they might have good communication skills, but if they don't have good stress management, then that takes away from their communication skills as well sometimes, which like just adds to the whole problem of people having miscommunication. There's so many issues coming up from just lack of communication.
That is the biggest
people.
what I've seen. And in the job I work, I can see that the main issue is communication for most of the issues that come up at the workplace. But how, you said if you don't have good stress management, that makes your communication even worse. That's true, but I think if you have good communication skills, then that will help you. That will help your stress management.
Yeah, they work hand in hand.
Because you're more confident in what you're saying.
That is a good point as well. They do work like hand in hand. It's not just one way and not the other. No, it's very true.
But with social media, on one side you have the communication going downhill between people, but also, isn't it crazy how, because obviously social media is a global phenomenon. Phenomenon.
Yeah.
Phenomenon, man. Phenomenon. Every episode there needs to be a word that I can't pronounce probably. Yeah, so it's a global thing. And it's something that is, you can connect to anyone. You can, in my case, for example, obviously my parents, like my family is in a completely different country, quite far from the UK, and I can anytime call them and talk to them. Whereas if we were in the past, you don't have that. Maybe you have to write a letter and wait weeks for it to arrive. So we are also connected, but at the same time, it's such a paradox. At the same time, we're so lonely and less connected.
Yeah, like if anything, there can be more disconnect. I think again, like because of how much we see online and how much like not only social media but just media in general, because obviously a lot more of it's digitized. People don't tend to like use newspapers as much anymore. There's a lot of stuff on TV and like on the different social media websites of just solely bad news. And like if we're not hearing obviously the good points in life as well, it just kind of drains away you and you're just kind of like, oh, what's the point? That kind of can tie
it
into
definitely
communication
contributes
as well.
to your well-being, I guess. Yeah,
and how you connect with the world, because like if you're just constantly seeing just the bad news, at this point you wouldn't even want to be connected with social media or like connected to what's going around globally, because all you're just going to see is bad stuff happening. Like, why would you constantly want to drown yourself in that?
And also because you have this, like, connecting to people everywhere is so accessible. I feel like people don't cherish it. Whereas again, in the past, when you had to write letters and stuff, and it took so much time and effort, people definitely appreciated it more and paid more attention to it. And also when you meet up with people, it was a big thing. And obviously you try to meet up with people because that's the only way, except because letters, yeah, but to actually have a full-on connection, communication, catch up, whatever with people, it's meeting. And obviously you're meeting and you don't know when the next time you'll be able, because it's not like now we can meet so much. People, they were busy, they had things to do, and they weren't that connected, so it was more difficult to keep in touch. So when they would meet up with someone, it was a big deal and they will be fully present. Whereas now, because again we're so connected, some people can't even be bothered to suggest meeting up or put the effort in organizing something. And also with using their devices to communicate, they're like, oh, I can just quickly answer or text or whatever, because they know it's there, they can do it whenever they want. Can't be asked now.
It's become more like a chore rather than something that you properly cherish. It's become wow, what is the sentence? You just take it for granted at the end of the day. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, no, you pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. That was actually going to be one of my points. But like, it's okay because you like worded it so well. I probably would. Yeah,
I didn't even have it written here. I was just like,
I could see like all the gears going in your mind. I could just see it flowing. No, but you pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. It's just like this lack of connection, lack of gratitude.
Yeah.
That's it, really. Yeah, I mean, one of the points that I kind of had written about this topic is that, like, as we get on with the generations, not only obviously social media, technology, that all comes into play with how communication, connection work, but also just teaching styles from past generations are different. Obviously, they're not only different based on your age, there's loads of different factors like culture, your own childhood experience as to how you like have known to connect with people and how you pass that along to your kids.
Yeah, that's I also kind of I read a bit about that, and and wanted to talk about, because I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, we weren't raised from our parents to use our phones and watch YouTube and all of that. I personally, coming from the Eastern Europe, I was the whole day out on the streets. My parents couldn't bring me home. They were like, even school times, like I would finish school and come. That was when I was a bit younger. When I was a teenager, I was quite busy with like, I still would go out after school, but it wasn't the same. But when I was a bit younger, I would finish school and go home and straight out. In the summer break, you can't see. I leave the house at 8 a.m. and come home at 11, 12 p.m. My parents, they didn't know where I was, what I was doing. They were not happy. Even like during school times, again, when I was a bit younger, they were like, oh, but like, you need to write your homework. You can't go out. I was like, no. Yeah. So And I feel sad for children nowadays.
Yeah, because I mean, whereas I was the opposite of you. Like my mom couldn't get me out.
You were
of the
in the
house.
UK.
Yeah, because I'm born and raised in the UK, United Kingdom,
Great Britain.
And I was just like, I was very social as a little kid. Like I loved people, and then all of a sudden, I just didn't like people. I don't know what happened. And then majority of the time I was by myself anyway, so I was just like more at home by myself, playing my games, and I did used to read and stuff. Well, that's the thing,
because you had access to the games and stuff.
Yeah.
And, whereas my parents, we had like games and stuff, but they wouldn't allow me to spend that much time. So
whereas there wasn't as much monitoring in that sense for me. So like I was just kind of allowed to do whatever I want because no one was there to stop me, and I just ended up secluding myself. But like, and because of that, I did struggle a lot with my communication when I was younger. Even like obviously now growing up and meeting more people and actually diversifying my social network has really changed how I communicate and how I've learned to connect with people, which I'm very grateful for. And I think it might be something that I've touched on previously in a different episode, but obviously under different context. But yeah, like it's crazy.
I guess I was lucky because I come from the capital of Bulgaria, but I lived in the suburbs. So I was in a house with like a yard. It was a safe area. All of the children were playing on the street and stuff. It was very safe. So my parents were comfortable with me being out. And, all of the other kids, my friends, they were the same. But I guess if I was more in Central Sofia, or more in the city, it would be different. But still in Bulgaria, still people. Because I lived for a few years with my grandparents in a block, and we still the children will be outside playing. Obviously, it's not the same because you need your parents or whoever grandparents to look after you.
Yeah.
Because it's not as safe, I guess. There are cars, there are many people, and but I guess from that point of view, I was quite lucky where I lived.
Yeah. Whereas, my city wasn't the capital of England. It was little old Coventry.
The capital of England is Coventry is more safe than London.
Oh yeah, no, it's it's definitely more safe. And I don't think necessarily my mum would have had any opposition to me going out and actually hanging out with the kids more often. But I think she would just be worried anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, she would want me to get out, but then also she'd be worried. But then it just ends up not happening that way. So I just end up staying at home or doing my own thing.
Nowadays, you see what's happening. A big number of parents, they can. I mean, I get it. Obviously, it's busy life and we have so much to do, especially as a parent. I can't even imagine. But the easy thing is just to give them the iPad and they play games and watch YouTube or whatever children's program. And children are not encouraged to go out and play. Even in Bulgaria, even in my neighborhood nowadays, I rarely see children playing outside. It's so nothing like how it was, more than 10 years ago. Literally everyone was on every street. You had a group of children. Now, for example, our neighbors, they have younger children, and some of them playing on the computer, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
No,
They're not encouraged.
No.
So
I do wonder how, when it gets to that stage, though, like when, I don't know, let's say in like 20 years time or something, when that generation has grown up and are more like into their adult phase of life, how they're going to cope and how like industry is going to change.
How are we going to cope?
Yeah.
Because probably things will change for their benefit, but what are we gonna do? I don't know.
Maybe we'll have to adapt.
I mean, we probably will be fine, but what am I gonna do? I'm so social.
But
no, it's and also another thing is, which I didn't know there was a term for it, but it's a helicopter parenting, I think it's called. Is it
helicopter parenting?
Yeah, so it's when parents are so involved, and it's more common nowadays. Parents are so focused on their children and involved in their lives and trying to protect them from everything, that they don't give them the space to kind of make their own mistakes and learn. And to be honest, my mom is a helicopter parent, but I was fighting it. But still, I get it. I can see how that can hinder your development in some cases. Yeah. So yeah, I just thought of mentioning, but yeah, it's not necessarily about communication, but in general, like obviously it can, if your parents all over you, doesn't allow you to speak with people, tries to protect you from everything, of course you're not gonna learn how to communicate.
Yeah, you just learn like, oh, my words will not be heard or they're not valued, so what's the point of saying anything?
Yeah, but yeah, it's obviously nowadays with hustle culture as well. Everything's like productivity, this and that. Wake up at 4 a.m. work. People are like, they're like, oh, I don't have time for this. My part of career, money, blah blah blah.
It's okay. Like, where's this money going anyway? Like, we're in the crisis. Like, what's the point of like hustle? It's gonna just be taken from taxes anyway. So what's the point of hustling?
And the more you money make, the more you spend. I was gonna say the more you take, because it's a rhymes, but I just said no, that doesn't sound good.
It takes from your soul.
Yeah. Also, a big thing is the cultural shifts. So you have, I mentioned earlier, globalization.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Obviously, from the point of view, because technology makes us allows us to stay connected with everyone, but also globalization and urbanization. Because obviously that whole movement.
So it's just all the inization words. Globalization, urbanization, world domination. I'm sorry. You continue.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so globalization and urbanization, obviously people moving from villages to cities, and then from cities to other countries. I mean, I'm a prime example of globalization. Left my own country to come to this Great Britain. Okay, jokes aside. But all of those shifts, obviously, they show their effect, their influence, because when people live in the village or used to live in the village, everyone in your village, you build those connections. Whereas when you move to the big city, there's so many people, again, hustle culture, everyone busy, focused on their lives. Individualization as well. That's another thing, nowadays everyone's like, I need to look after myself, I need to do what's best for me, I need to focus on me. All of those things, they affect you. But the urbanization in the big cities, harder to make connections. Globalization, even harder when you move to different countries, especially with so many different cultures. Not everyone can do it. Individualization, again, I'm not saying all you care is yourself, but
You end up doing it too much to the point of just secluding yourself.
Yeah, you're like, I need to focus on me. I'm not gonna go communicate and build relationships and stuff. So all of that shows its effect.
Yeah, and then like with the example of trying to make connections, like in a romantic sense, for example. It is so bad nowadays. The apps, like everyone, it's just like either you find a really cool person, but they're like on the other side of the country, or the people that you see like in your radius in your city, they just don't fit your vibe, and like there's not as many like clubs or socials to meet people.
That's the thing. I was gonna say about how before, you still have it nowadays, but before that was the norm. So people had their community, and community was so important. That's another thing, that individualization. Is it individualism? I don't know. But, being so focused on you and all of that has affected the community, because before you had your community and that was like a weekly thing, or even daily things, like you would go and be with your neighbors, the children will play, the parents will gossip, catch up. You had the church, and for a lot of people the church was the it was connected with their religion, but also a place to socialize. Every Sunday you meet up with your community, and you do your religious things, but also communicate with people, build those connections.
That's so true.
Different, all sorts of things, like gather for a picnic or have a event every week, like just lunch, whatever, with your community.
Literally like having a Sunday dinner here. Like we'd always like have a weekly Sunday dinner. Someone would cook. All the family would come over, like family friends as well would just all join. There's you still have people doing them, but it's not how before that was the norm. Like everyone was doing it, whereas now it's not like that. You still have communities, and I can see people trying, and I think we all should try more and focus more on that than money, careers, and all of that, because we need that sense of belonging. Otherwise, you feel so out of touch and lost, because you can lose your career, money like this, but if you have your community, that's your support system, and that gives you so much joy, and just this sense of belonging. We all have the need to belong somewhere. We're pack animals. we can't thrive on our own. Even there are people that's their preference and they feel more comfortable, but even they need people. Without realizing it. How are we doing for time?
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, cool.
But,
that was something else that just sparked in my brain. Obviously, COVID was a thing. And that has like
that definitely definitely affected me.
It's definitely like caused a shift as well. Like again, like I was saying, there's so many factors that are involved as to how connection is declining. But COVID really hit the nail on the head with just making everyone isolated. That was a weird experience.
It was so weird because even people that are social, like I'm still social, but I can see I've become more anxious in big groups and meeting people. I've always been a bit like anxious and shy, but not anxious. I would say I've always been shy, but I would be so excited to meet new people and that. Whereas now I feel anxious. I still enjoy it, but not as much. And I can see I'm a bit more closed off to people. Unless it's someone that I really like, unless it's someone that I genuinely am interested in and want to get to know. Whereas before I would just random people. I'll meet this one, that one, and just very social. Whereas now I'm still social, but sometimes I really have to push myself. Not because I don't enjoy it, but it's just COVID made it so normal for us to be antisocial.
Yeah, honestly. And just kind of like seeing how, like, again, we are obviously pack animals, and there were some people that just they didn't have anyone around them because of like the lockdowns and stuff, and how that's really affected them, especially like it would depend on the like their generation, like their physical health as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
how much they could tend to themselves, like that will put a decline on the brain.
Yeah.
And like how much you would be able to actually survive.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, with COVID, I think it just made us feel more. It made it normal for us to be less social. We became complacent and just can't be asked to, socialize.
Yeah.
It's like stopping going to the gym or whatever, and then getting back into it. Like, you enjoy it, but and you want to do it, but you just can't be asked, and it's such a struggle. So I think kind of the same thing happened.
Yeah, I agree. Agreed.
Yeah, I think we're coming towards the end of the episode. I mean, to be fair, this one probably will be a bit of a longer one. But I have some notes here that I wanted to just mention a few things.
Okay.
One thing that pisses me off is like, and I just don't get it. I don't understand why people are afraid or think it's cringe, inappropriate, whatever else, to show people that you like them. In any case, I'm not talking about in a romantic sense, any sense. Why are people so like, when they like someone, why are they trying to tone it down and not seem weird? Even I do it sometimes. I'm like, why? I'm not like that. I used to be the person that will go and tell, especially my crushes, that I like them and don't care. I even put myself in some awkward situations. Hey ho, we learn. Yeah, I mean, obviously life, when you get older, like, you try to be more careful, more considerate. That's fair enough. But in general, just for simple situations where there's nothing wrong of showing someone. I'm not saying go and say, oh yeah, I like you, but like, show you have interest, and why do you have to tone it down? Because what have I said here? Blah blah blah. That I like to show people that I like them and that I want to be around them, to spend time with them and get to know them. Because why is that awkward? I don't know why people find this awkward or weird. I don't know why we should keep those feelings to ourselves and make it seem like we don't care that much, that we are cool. I don't know why people are so afraid of this, but if we all were more transparent, I feel like a lot of people will be happier and communication will be much better. Because you have so many people that feel lonely and disconnected. But you can be the person that goes and tells them, look, I like you, I want to spend time with you, I want to get to know you.
Yeah.
And also, you're removing the whole element of people wondering if you like them or not, or you wondering if they like you or not.
Yeah. That is such a big thing of the constant what if and all the different scenarios and the overthinking and the stressing out for no reason, when you could literally just ask someone.
Why is it so hard?
And be like, look, I feel like this. How do you feel?
No, but even if, but also just like naturally showing people, do you want to meet up? Let's go do this and that.
Yeah.
Why am I going to sit there like, oh no, it's going to be like awkward. Let me just like...
Yeah, like hide away in my shell. Avoid this connection.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, again, coming back to the topic about colleagues. Obsessed with my colleagues.
She loves her colleagues.
To be honest, I went out with my colleagues on Saturday, so I'm happy.
Okay.
No, but yeah, with everyone. But I think it's more, again, when it comes to the workplace, that this is seen. Because like, when you're at the workplace, your colleagues are some robots or NPCs that you work with, and you can't, you have to treat them different than someone on the street. But yeah, anyway, I'm not going to start this topic again. Clearly, I have a obsession.
She could go on for days.
No, yeah. But in any sense, it's just because where else I meet people nowadays, if not at work?
Yeah, again, because of the whole thing that there's lack of community, lack of social gatherings, we ain't got nowhere else to go except for work. If people are just like, I'm here just for work, nothing else, then you know no one. That's it, you're done.
I'm like, I'm here for friends.
Yeah, like, what's work?
I accepted this job to find some friends. We need to start our own community. Yeah. Maybe we need to think about it, what we can do. Victorin.community. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's, yeah, I don't get it. Please, people, show that you like other people.
Mm-hmm.
Please, it would be so nice. Something else that was I was thinking about, because I saw a meme.
Mm-hmm.
This is not very on topic, but I just thought it was so funny. But it comes from communicating with people and just having interactions. I saw a meme where it said me calling my best friend to tell her another story of my life because every day something happens and I basically live in a movie. Isn't that so accurate? I have stories for Leona all the time, even the most simple situations. Probably a lot of the times I make up stuff. But you know what? I don't care. If being delusional makes my life more fun, my daily life, why not?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they say fake it until you make it. But also, why not have a bit of fun in my life and make up situations, even if, most of the time I don't think I make them up. But anyway, but yeah, the most mundane, boring situation, I'll always find something everywhere I go. Because you always say that, oh, wherever you go, like,
honestly,
you like meet interesting people, you have funny situations. Yeah, because I look for it. Like, if it's, let's say, if you go and you don't look for it, probably everyone will seem normal and not like much is happening. But I will sit there literally like this and someone will move like this. I'll be like, oh my God, this means this. Or like, this happened. Like situations that people won't pay attention. The way I see them through my eyes and tell those stories to other people, it seems like the most amazing thing. But
honestly, it's so entertaining. Literally, even just as she's coming through the door, like she's already starting to tell a story. I'm like, you've just stepped into the house.
Tell me why.
It's always tell me why. And I'm like, cool, okay, I need to sit down for this one. What's happening now? No, but it's good. It's good fun. And it just keeps things like a bit like mixing up things and like keeping it a bit spontaneous, like just entertaining really, because otherwise things will get
entertaining
boring.
for you.
Yeah.
No, it's entertaining for me as well. But yeah, do I have anything else?
Okay.
Another thing about gossiping is because that is part of the communication topic. So obviously gossiping is a big thing, especially for us. And we're always made to feel blame for gossiping and feel like we're shit people and you should not gossip. I think you should not gossip in a rude way. Sometimes it might seem rude just because sometimes it's just rude, but not. Sometimes some people are shit and you will say bad things for them, but that doesn't mean you're rude. You're just being objective, But anyway, I saw this video which gave me an interesting perspective and I love it. So gossiping is a way for people to connect. Obviously, people connect the most over common enemy. But it doesn't have to be enemy, common gossip. No, but gossiping connects people so much, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a bonding moment.
Yeah, so it is something that people connect through, but also it's a way of making sense of your environment, which makes so much sense. Because like, why do we sit sometimes and discuss the same topic 100 times, or the smallest things, like gossip about this and that? Because we're like, oh yeah, this is what this person meant. Oh, but why are they acting like, oh, but did you hear they do this? That's why. Because we're trying to make sense of stuff. It's very interesting, I thought.
I like that. Yeah.
No, but it makes sense. Actually, it's logical.
Yeah. I've never thought about it like in that, to that depth and to that extent, but that is very true, because this world doesn't make any sense. So the most we can do is at least try and discuss it together and figure out what wagwan.
Exactly. Gossiping is a discussion. I don't know why it's gossiping. Where did that word come from? But anyway, guys, please don't worry. You can gossip. Obviously, be careful. You don't want to be just sitting there gossiping rude things. But it's not that bad gossiping at the end of the day.
It's a healthy discussion.
Yeah. One last thing, again, it's on topic, but I saw something about how, again, these are things that it's common sense, but when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, like I haven't thought about that. But again, because of social media connected so much with everyone everywhere around the world, we think, yeah, or I'm not saying we do, but there are a lot of people like, yeah, I have bare friends, this and that, like I know so many people because of, let's say, followers, people on social media in general,
Yeah.
communicating with people over social media. But think about it, when you delete all of your social media and you're left with just like your face-to-face communication, how many people do you have around you actually that you see on daily basis and communicate like you have full-on communication?
Yeah. Or actually just have strong bonds with,
Yeah.
but not always, like, because obviously there's like long distance friendships and
Yeah, no,
relationships
you
and stuff, but
still
like,
obviously it'll
yeah,
be a bit more difficult.
yeah,
But I'm not saying those people are not in your life. But I'm saying more about like being social and socializing with people on kind of on a more regular basis. It's literally the people that you actually meet up with.
yeah. No, that is very true. And again, it's like a whole generational thing. You think the more numbers you've got, the better you are. Like, the more of a social hit you are, when, like, that's not always the case. And sometimes it's just filler for, like, other potential issues you've got in your personal life. Yeah, just trying to counteract that. But no, those are some very interesting points. I have to say, like, that's been quite riveting.
Just thought of sharing with you guys. I've decided to start like just random things, writing them down and sharing. Yeah,
You've got a lot of thoughts going up in there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. A lot of thoughts, a lot of scenarios. You know. But yeah, that's I don't think I have anything else to share. Do you have anything before we?
No, I mean, like, I think we've covered everything that I'd thought of anyway. Like, this is like, this topic could go on and on and on. Like, there's so many ways that connection and communication like go to different aspects of life, but the topics that I wanted to talk about the most, we've already discussed. So I'm pretty satisfied.
Yeah.
What about you? Feel good?
No, I feel good, and yeah, I feel like I was talking a lot today and just jumping around, maybe even interrupting you, but I'm feeling this inspiration today. I think it's because also like I really enjoyed that course that we did at work, and I don't know, I just felt a bit like
It really got you going.
Yeah, I need like the randomest things happening to me to feel inspired. You know, it can be just like, I don't know, a leaf dropping from the tree. I'm like, oh yeah. I don't know. And I was like, okay, because we didn't even plan to record this episode today. No. Actually, initially we did, but then I was like, oh, please, can we do it another day? Because I'm just not feeling like it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that was me yesterday. But then today I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's okay.
We weren't even like properly ready, to be honest. Yeah. That's why I kept looking at my laptop and my phone just to remind myself stuff.
Same, because I just had to kind of write down some parts, but again, because there's so much to discuss, I feel like I could just go on and like free flow.
I mean, this is a long episode. I'm not sure, but it's gonna be probably more than an hour. So.
Well, if you get to the end of this video, that would be great, and it shows that you obviously like enjoy this kind of topic. So feel free to give us that feedback and just let us know how you think.
It would be so nice to get some feedback, or like for people to say what they want us to talk about. But obviously we don't have like a big audience or anything, so I don't expect anyone to make any suggestions. But yeah, it will be, you know, if anyone decides to share with us something or say what they will be interested to hear us talk about, it will be really nice. Thank you so much for, you know, taking out of your time to listen to the podcast, watch, follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, obviously YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Victorin podcast. Some of them is Victorin, depends on, but just search Victorin podcast and you'll find it.
There's only one and only Victorin.
But yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.